Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Straight Betting. Today we got a fun ass episode. You know, it's always gonna be some fun times whenever you see the 3-man overlay get busted out. So we got JJ, of course. Sleepy JJ, how we doing?
Fucking sleepy.
Makes sense. I'm sleepy tied too in hour one. So then we got special guest Dr. Prophet. Doc, how we doing?
I'm doing great, man. I got excited when JJ sent me the text, asked if I'd come up. I see you guys have been cooking on here. I got jealous.
So we've been trying to cook. You know, when it comes to like the plays cooking, I wouldn't exactly say, you know, we're cooking with like grease, but you know, we got some like non-stick spray going on with that. So plays have been all right, but
you guys will get hot. Don't worry about it.
Well, JJ's trying to.
He swept last night, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. There we go, JJ.
Talk your shit, JJ. Yeah. Tell the haters what's up.
No, we still asked, but we needed it this season.
Okay. Before we get into something, Doc, I just want you to like introduce yourself a little bit if someone's unfamiliar with your stuff. I know I have one question that I want you to answer, but like, so I'm always like amused because I'm kind of like an idiot, right? And like whenever people like talk about like modeling and stuff like that, I'm just like, you know, I'm kind of like start drooling and shit. Like I just like get amused. So like what goes into your like modeling process and what do you try to like incorporate to, you know, maybe get like matchups and minutes in there and stuff?
So a lot of it is the stuff you see on NBA.com, mostly just the shot type, shot zones, some of the head-to-head matchup stuff, and then some finding a way to incorporate the splits, whether it be stats for the season, and then also weighing in some of the more recent stats like the last 10 and the last 5. And the same thing goes for the assists too. The rebounds have been a little bit more tricky trying to get all the data compiled and merged, so that's why I don't have projections for those, but points and assists is a lot of just shot types and shot zones and focusing on that definitely carries the bulk of it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So I feel like that would be so, because I have like a serious mental block kind of with like massive slates. Cause I just like, I don't know, man. I just see like too much stuff and like just get all distracted and shit and start skipping over props. I feel like, would you say that's like when it's like most beneficial? Just, you know, kind of gives you an idea of like what to look for first. And then you like see your projection has a massive edge and you're just like, okay, like let's look into this like a little bit more.
Oh, 100%. And I try and like just keep up with injury news and adjustments and team reports and get in some plays even before I run the projections. But there's at least 1 or 2 plays a day where they weren't even on my radar until I ran my projections. And now I'm like, oh, this guy, why is he projected so high? I look into it and then always seeing 5 extra potential assists per game in the last like 7 games. And then I go deeper into that. So it definitely does trigger a lot more props that I wouldn't even think to look at. And that's honestly that was probably the initial reason I created them, even before I intended on publicizing them just for my own use. And then once it was doing so well for me and people would ask what projections I'm referencing in some of my write-ups, I was like, let me just start sharing it with you guys. And it's been pretty successful ever since then.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's sweet. Do you have like a background with like modeling, like some sort of like studying shit? I don't even know what the word is. What like computer science or some shit?
Honestly, no. It's just been ever since I was young, math has been something that's, I wouldn't say I've naturally been good at. It's definitely something that my dad made sure I was good at. But when I was in college, I didn't do I took one statistics course, but there's never any comp sci or anything deeper than that. It was a lot of just trial and error, YouTube videos, learning from stuff like that.
Yeah, honestly, that's one thing I've kind of learned from, you know, just like trying to start up Straight Bet, and like I've had to learn like graphic design, which is like, you know, fucking not shit compared to modeling, but you know, just like a lot of stuff that I've, you know, I feel like if you really want to learn something, like if you just like put your mind to YouTube for like 5 hours, like you can get a pretty good head start on it.
Oh yeah, and like a lot of the web scraping stuff that I have to do to get a lot of the data, I tried to learn it because again, like you said, you could, if you focus on YouTube and you're dedicated to it, you could do it. I was not able to get it. I had to hire somebody to pull the data for me, and then I went from there.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Okay, well, let's see. We got a good amount of people in here. Been live for 5 minutes. Okay, usually I like to kick it off to the guest first, but I'm like very paranoid that this line's going to move, and I want you guys to get the best line. So I'm going to kick us off. Sorry, guys. I'm selfish. I'm going with Evan Mobley, Dr. Prophet's boy, over 15.5 points. And if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, oh my gosh, and it didn't move. Well, it's still there on DraftKings. Okay, guys, if you don't have DraftKings, I would pivot to 27.5 PRA because, I mean, this is a minutes projection play. It's really not matchup at all. It's a minute projection, and usually I like to lean PRA in minute projection plays in the first place. So, yeah, PRA is available everywhere except for FanDuel. So I would go to 27.5 PRA, and just for like the show's case, I guess I'll switch this to 27.5 PRA just so we can track it there. But let me quick type that up. Okay, minus 120 DK. So yeah, I mean, guys, this is just like common sense. So the Cavs, they blow out everyone. So Evan Mobley is averaging like shitty minutes. They're playing the Celtics at home. Like I said, he's only averaging 30.1 minutes on the year. If we go to games with Mitchell and Garland, he's averaging 30.6 PRA. Like I said, guys, this line is 27.5, and that's only on 30.1 minutes. So, like I said, I'm going to project him up for 33 minutes, and I think that's still like factoring in blowout a little bit. Like Dr. Prophet, if this game is close, would you say Mobley's like at 35, 36 minutes?
I think so because, I mean, obviously the Cavs lost to them in the playoffs last year. Jared Allen didn't play, but that was the first time we kind of saw Evan Mobley come into his own and show flashes of the guy that people have been waiting for him to be, the unicorn, since he was drafted. So I think there was a little bit of extra confidence kind of instilled once that happened. And I can't remember how he's done in the previous 2 matchups this season, but I think he's done well even in those with Jared Allen. So I think it's that psychological aspect of just playing sports. I think having that same matchup again is something that's going to be in his favor here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I just calculated it out. Like I said, obviously I did points, and like in games with Mitchell and Garland per 33 minutes, he's averaging 20 points. It's like 19.95. So even if you want to say that's a bad matchup, I really don't think it is, to be honest. I guess I will say the Celtics have been limiting stuff in the paint ever since they got Kristaps back. But I mean, like, probably get guarded by Tatum. That's a pretty big, length advantage and stuff. Boston switches a lot. I'd like to think that Mobley against switching, if he gets a post touch, he could find decent success. I mean, he had a bad game. He shot 4 for 13. Like, that's usually you're never going to see Mobley shooting 31%. He did have, a good game of 22. But yeah, it's like, even if you want to say it's a slightly bad matchup, like if you're going to have him at 33 minutes, I feel like this line should be like 18.5. And for the PRA line, he's averaging 33 PRA per 33 minutes in games with Mitchell and Garland. So I don't know. Like, yeah, if you want to, say it's a bad matchup, then the line should be like 30.5, 31.5. Maybe I'm mistaken, but yeah, just a pure minute play. And Doc already gave a little input on it, but JJ, I want to hear if you have any take on it.
I mean, for me, as long as he has enough playing time, usually he's going to hit that line from what I've been seeing. Mm-hmm. But it's just they always blow everybody out, so he doesn't always get a chance to really get those minutes.
Yeah. Let's see. So we could do the PRA line. 27.5 PRA with 30-plus minutes, 18 out of 26. The points line, if you do want to play the DraftKings, which I do recommend, then you get 19 out of 26. So, yeah, just a pure minutes play. Felt like I had to let it rip. I also do think Garland and Mitchell are obviously in pretty solid spots, but I kind of think actually, I'm going to quick give a lean, and Dr. Prophet, I especially want your lean on it as a Cavs fan who probably follows the team definitely closer than I do, at least. Is Ty Jerome like a shitty team merchant? And like, is this a game where he'll play like, 14 minutes or something?
No, I think he has legit 6th man of the year upside in terms of his role with the team. Whether he's actually in that status or not is up to whoever watches him. But in terms of like his role in the team, I think he's pretty much solidified that. I think my main concern for him here is a lot of his 3-point volume, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but just from watching it, I think a lot of his 3-point volume is coming off catch and shoot, and then a lot of his pull-up volume is coming off like mid-range and floaters. And I think that's where you run into trouble with Boston is I think with their drop coverage, Porzingis is so much longer than him that I don't think he can get into those floaters that he wants to get into.
Okay. Yeah. I have like one thing too. It's like, so the game that like is most relatable to this one, is, in my opinion, the OKC game that was super close. And yes, Ty Jerome went over, but he shot 6 for 7. He only played 12 minutes. Like, if it's a big game, like, I don't know. This is like the last big game I can think of that the Cavs played where they were pretty healthy. And he only had 12 minutes. So I know Dean Wade and Isaac Herro were available in that one. Do you think that Jerome could maybe, like, the 12 minutes is because those two were available?
Is LeVert still out? I don't think I followed up on that.
No, he's back in.
If LeVert's back in, then his minutes definitely get a lot more murky. Because
Okay.
I think he's just absorbed all the LeVert minutes. Like, they're not even giving it to anybody else off the bench. So
Yeah,
with
he's not even
LeVert
on the
back, I
injury
think it
report.
definitely messes things up for him.
Okay. Well, yeah, because I'm definitely leaning under here. I want to fade either him or Pritchard because, like I said, Pritchard, look, he's a good player. He's definitely a shitty team merchant. And I think that, like, this is just a mess. And when they're at full strength against, like, in a must-win game, I really think that Peyton Pritchard is going to be riding the pine for the most part. So that's another lean there.
Lately. Ever since Porzingis came back, I feel like he's just fallen off.
Yeah. Yeah, Kristaps is kind of not messed up the dynamic, but, I mean, the scoring is all over the place now.
Oh, yeah. Ever since Kristaps came back, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't even think I'm going to think about Boston props until somebody's injured.
Yeah, facts. Unless it's like maybe an under or something, but
yeah.
Okay, Dr. Prophet, I'm gonna kick it to you. Do you got a prop for us?
So the one prop that anybody who's followed me knows that I'm on in this game is Darius Garland over 2.5 3-pointers made. I think I don't really love home away splits in general, but there are some rare cases where it's undeniable. 2 years ago, it was Jokic assists anytime it was under 8.5. This year, it's been Garland 2.5 threes. I think when he has like 24 minutes at home, he's over 19 of 26, if I have that number off the top of my head correct. So it's just been, he's shooting 47% from 3 at home, almost 50%. All you need is 6 attempts, which he does in almost every game. And some people worry about LeVert and Mobley being back, but if you look at his per 36 stats, it really doesn't make much of a difference. And now we get the drop coverage Boston team, both on the pick and roll and on off-ball screens. And I see no reason why it doesn't get 6 or 7 attempts here. And if he just keeps up his normal efficiency, it should be green.
And they've been getting torched by shot creators low-key lately.
Yeah.
Bro, Maxey I think Maxey had 3 threes in the first 6 minutes of the game when they played.
This is not the regular Celtics team we were accustomed to.
No.
They've had a lot of mental lapses as of late.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with them. Yeah, Dr. Prophet, I think the main thing that I want to say is I really liked your point on I don't know how relevant home road splits are, but for 3-pointers, 100%, I think they are relevant. You know, it's especially when it comes to like shooting percentage. There's definitely a 3-pointers are a very mental thing, and basketball is not the most mental sport. It's a lot of it's skill and athleticism, but 3-pointers is the most mental. Shooting a 3 is the most mental thing in NBA. So, you know, seeing that similar backdrop and all that stuff definitely that's definitely an edge to be had, I think.
Oh yeah, and it's again, when you see 47% at home and 36% on the way, and it's 20+ game sample size each way, at some point it's just okay, this is a thing. Let's just trust it.
Yeah. And the hit rate, I think, is actually better than what you said. 18 out of 23, 78.3.
I will say I got it at minus 130. I said I would play it up to 145 when I sent it out. But yeah, it's definitely one with more juice than I'd normally like to play.
Yeah. No, that's fine though. Sometimes you gotta. I mean, the juice doesn't really matter that much if you're betting on such a high hit rate prop.
Exactly.
So, and I'm sure FanDuel you could hit 3+ and you could find a little better price than minus 145.
That's what I did with that one. Let me see what's it at right now, real quick. But this is one game. I'm rarely on 2 plays in the same game. I made an exception today because this is another line that moved a little bit too much. But Donovan Mitchell under assists at 5.5. I think if I don't know what it is at 4.5. If it's plus 120 or better, I think I'd still take it at 4.5. But
I think he's just gonna be a scorer tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been 4.5 all season, normally juiced down as long as Garland's playing. I don't know. I know he's hitting his last 5, but I don't know who thought it was a good idea to put him at 5.5 in one of the worst matchups you could ask for.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the perfect time to sell high, right? It's he's been cooking in against teams that just maybe they're a little aggressive in the pick and roll. or they just suck and give up a lot of assists. And then
his potentials haven't been great lately either. I think he had 2 games with 11 and 13, but outside of that, it's been 9 or less pretty consistently.
Yeah, and actually, Liam Osbets came on, and I think this is a good way if it's too juiced, under 5.5, and then 20+ points. I mean, it's perfectly correlated.
Yeah, I mean, like JJ said, him and Garland are both just gonna be chucking against that drop coverage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully it's just like Mitchell, Allen, and Mobley with like 90% of the team's like points and threes and shit.
Wouldn't be surprised at all.
Straight bet and we'll be popping champagne bottles. Okay, let's move on from the Cavs game. I'm going with Mikal Bridges over 2.5 threes. So first of all, where I started here is Liam came on and gave out Brunson's under points, and let's see what the price is. So best price is now minus plus 110 at FanDuel. This is also we played 4+. So first of all, I want to start off with Brunson, right? We go to Brunson head to head against the Raptors, bro. He's only averaging 15 points this year. So a lot of the times I think head to head data sometimes can be misleading. If what if this is the case and the Raptors lost by like 40 every single game? Then common sense says switch something up, play drop or something. I don't know. But, these games have been pretty competitive, right? 5 points, 14 points. That's pretty good for the Raptors against the Knicks. I think that they'll probably stick with it. So, obviously, if Brunson's scoring, this little, it's because they're putting to the ball and forcing others to beat him. We go to Mikal, head-to-head against the Raptors. 8 3-pointers attempted, 8 3-pointers attempted, 11 3-pointers attempted. Now we get no OG. Without OG, it's like he's at like 7.38 per 36, and like Mikal without OG probably plays more than 36. So, I think he might be around like 38 to 40. So maybe bump this up a little bit. We can go to this little chart. Raptors are pretty vulnerable to the corners. Mikal, most NBA players aren't like this, but Mikal actually makes more threes from the corners than above the break. So another thing is, let's see, team shooting last 15 games. Corner threes attempted, Raptors 5th most corner threes attempted allowed. So yeah, I mean, just like with all this stuff with no OG, I think that you can get them to 8 3-pointers attempted in a neutral matchup with no OG. But clearly this is a good matchup for him. So I think you can get him to I don't know. I think a 9 attempts is a solid projection here. So yeah, I mean, give him 8 or 9 attempts, which is what I'm looking for. What I think is going to happen. Plus money on 2.5. I think it's a pretty good look. I think if you go to 3-pointers attempted, you can do 8 to 12 and take off head to head. But yeah, 8 to 12 or 8 to 10 3-pointers attempted, 11 out of 12 hit rate. You're getting plus money on this. I think it's a good look.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to be chucking today. He was getting beat up yesterday. He was going through it.
Yeah,
it was just injury after injury, but he was fighting through it.
Yeah, and hopefully he doesn't sit out. It's Mikal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I might be telling you on that. I remember I almost ran it the last time they played and saw everybody losing their mind when he was shooting 2 of 11. And I love taking spot up shooters against Toronto. So the fact that it's plus 110 is actually a ridiculous price.
Yeah. Yeah, no, seriously. I think that this should be maybe minus 120 or something.
Yeah, I'm completely with you there.
Yeah, so let's hope Mikal. Hopefully Mikal's not having the yips like he was early in the season here. then maybe he has a decent chance of getting there. Okay, let's see. So I only had 2 official plays. Let's see. Did I have a really strong lean? I feel like I did. I really like Haliburton under 8.5 assists. I just Nembhard. Like I said, I think Nembhard has chronic back issues, and it's a back-to-back. So I am a little wary about that. Nembhard's only played 2 back-to-backs all year. I know he's missed a lot of time. So I'm gonna wait on the injury news. But guys, if Andrew Nembhard plays or doesn't get announced out and this line holds at minus 130, the Blazers have been switching everything recently. It's really weird. I played Booker's under assists last game. But
they've been using the Houston playbook lately.
Yeah, the Orlando playbook too. It's been weird. So that's one that I'm probably gonna end up playing if it holds. But it's kind of slowly getting juiced under. But even if Nembhard gets ruled out, I might just see if it goes up to 9.5 and then play the under. So
I think it will. Pretty sure that's what happened last game. Nembhard was ruled out, but I think Mathurin was also ruled out in the same game. So we'll see.
Yeah.
If Nembhard's ruled in, I like Mathurin under 5.5 RA because Neesmith is taking his closing minutes now, so he's not seeing more than 25 minutes. And I want to say he's under in 7 of 9 on his 5.5 RA when he sees 25 or less minutes. And most of them just are not even close. I think last game he finished with 1 RA. And it was Utah, one of the best matchups you could ask for.
Yeah, bro had 1 RA against Utah. I had Haliburton double-double in the lotto last night. And Hallie didn't even come close. I'm like, okay, he's playing Utah. Like, can you please just revert to last year Hallie for 1 game? And he just couldn't. Yeah, that's
potential assist yesterday. It was.
Oh shit! So that was actually unlucky.
How many? 19. Oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lick of that game. A shitty ass game. But yeah, I guess that was a little bit unlucky.
They need to add actual sharpshooters onto that team.
Yeah. To be honest, guys, can we all agree that Haliburton's him on a super max is actually a disaster?
Oh, terrible. I got in an argument when he was first coming up of somebody trying to argue that Haliburton is miles ahead of Trae Young. And I was like, do we know who Tyrese Haliburton is? Do we know who I'm not even saying Trae Young is top 5 in the NBA, but let's recognize the players we're talking about here. Tyrese Haliburton is not. He doesn't have a bag. His no-look passes are where he's looking at them and then looks away at the last second. He's not like that.
No, bro. He's actually not, dude. As soon as Siakam came, and the system changed from okay, Hallie, you have a 100% usage rate. Then he stopped getting his 20 and 10 a night, and now he's 18 and 8.5 with inconsistent play and shit defense. And Andrew Nembhard will come in and have the exact same per 36 minute stats. Bro, TJ McConnell literally has the exact same per 36 minute stats.
I love TJ McConnell so much.
Yeah, he's a dog, bro. TJ McConnell is the ultimate wagon if he ever gets good minutes.
He's like Russell Westbrook if he only got 18 minutes in terms of his betting respect.
Yeah. I'm pissed at myself I didn't play McConnell assist yesterday. He respects coin. Okay.
Some of the potential assist numbers from yesterday, and we got some interesting numbers.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Prophet, do you have any more official plays?
Yes. So I got more plays in than usual last night. So I'm on Kyrie 3 threes as well. It's just a play that I look at every time he's playing without Luka. I think it's still minus 115, but
and away too.
Does he shoot better away?
Yeah, look at the away split.
Oh God.
Oh,
Let
wow.
me look this up.
And then without Luka, I think he's only missed twice.
He's 13 of 19 on the season without Luka, but 2 of them were where he shot 2 and 3 attempts in the first 2 games off the injury. And then one of them was Boston, who they top locked the hell out of him off screens, off false screens. So if you remove those 3, those 3 games are very much outlier games in my opinion, not just because he missed, just the circumstances around it. Yeah, 37% from 3 at home, 45% on the road.
Holy crap.
That's actually insane.
Shit, I got to start paying attention to these home road 3-point splits more often.
Yeah. It only matters when you're this deep into the season, and then you have a month to look at it because then the trade deadline hits and then All-Star break hits, and it seems like everything just resets for everybody. But then if you look at it before January, it's all right, there's not really a big enough sample size for it. So it's almost not worth screaming from the rooftops because by the time everybody hears it, it's okay, the opportunity's gone. But yeah, until All-Star break, we got a week and a half, 2 weeks. It's definitely stuff that we can still tackle.
Yeah, and another thing I like about this is, I mean, dude, if Embiid, I'm pretty sure he's playing. Like I said, you never fucking know with Embiid, right? But but if Embiid plays, dude, I mean, Philly's already been a massive. I mean, if Embiid plays, they're gonna Embiid can't move, so it's just
he's gonna walk into some threes.
Yeah,
I feel like I gotta play this.
Yeah, you're gonna hop on it.
Yeah,
I was shocked the line didn't move when I sent it out last night.
Yeah,
I thought I was gonna wake up and it was gonna be. Never mind. Oh, 130. 130 isn't horrible.
No, it's not. You think that
I think 15 minutes ago it was at minus 115.
Yeah,
So I think it just changed.
It's a minus 120 at MGM. It says minus 118, but I don't think MGM doesn't do juice like this, right?
No.
Yeah.
Unless so sometimes they're starting to have the FanDuel effect a little bit where they'll add an alt line that's slightly different than the actual line. So that's been happening sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. So no, but Embiid really should play. And Embiid just gonna he can't move. He's gonna just be by the rim. Like Kyrie even might get a couple catch and shoot opportunities. They're just gonna be a massive jump shot funnel. They'll overhelp and take away the rim for catch and shoot stuff, or they'll be in drop. And
he saw players that never got traded before, and he started. Maybe it's time to get back on the court.
Yeah. Well, good thing for Embiid. No one wants to take his contract on.
Yeah.
I mean, who's gonna defend Kyrie? For a second, I thought it was gonna be Oubre because Oubre defended Jamal Murray in the Denver matchup.
I feel like the size matchup, the size matchup there with him and Jamal Murray makes more sense. But Kyrie's too quick for him, right?
That and I feel like PJ Washington's enough of a factor where you still want to keep Oubre on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who are they even starting nowadays? Ricky Council?
Dude, they should.
He's
I think
dog.
Ricky Council started for his first game last week, but Ricky Council's nice. I don't know why they're not playing him more.
Yeah, no, he is nice, and he brings a athleticism and youngness, youth aspect that they desperately need, in my opinion.
He's the only one who tries to score other than Maxey when Paul George and Embiid are out, and he's good at it.
Yeah, no, for real. Especially Council, if Council's going up against weak rim protection, that dude might be a overwagon.
He was cooking Porzingis when he was driving in the paint last game.
Yeah, he's a dog. No, yeah, Doc, this is a great bet though. I'm really shocked that it just moved in real time.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yep.
I mean, it held all throughout the night, so that's why I was. Let's see, minus 120 MGM, 125 DK, 125 bet 365, 125 Hard Rocks. There's some books that are still laying some soft lines on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll last too long though.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'd expect this. I'd expect this to close minus 160 or something.
Yeah. Let's see. Do I have any other props that I've been meaning to share? I think that was all of it. Oh, actually, I doubt this line's still available either. But Tyler Herro, rebounds and assists, or just assists, depending on whichever one's better line. Yeah, 12.5.
7.5. So it's probably gonna be the RA's better, probably.
No, because I got RA. Jesus, I got RA at 11.5 with some juice.
Okay, so the assist made them both jump up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not. I mean, that one's more of a volume play than anything else. I mean, Chicago is a pace-up spot as well. They shoot a lot of threes, which is good for his rebounding, by the way. If anybody just wants to rebound, take the rebounds by himself. I think his rebound percentage on missed twos is 6% higher than missed threes, or other way around, higher on missed threes than it is on missed twos. So I really like both the upside on his rebounds and assists, given the matchup and his volume ever since Butler got suspended. Yeah, and I think Bulls, as long as Vooch is in there, I think they're the best matchup because they can't guard the pick and roll man for shit. And Hero's the guy who's making the passes to the Ware and Bams in the pick and roll for the most part.
I mean, it has real potential for a double-double type of game for Tyler Herro in this matchup.
Trip dub. Post a trip dub and say, I hope you see it.
You got to parlay it with another triple-double. Who we parlaying it with?
Tyler Herro triple-double and
Evan Mobley.
Just the most absurd person ever. Fucking
Embiid. Just the biggest player on the board, Embiid.
Yeah, Embiid. Ivica Zubac, guys. They have Jackson Hayes, so they're going to double him every time.
That's something I actually wanted to talk about. Do we think the Lakers go small and force him off the court? Because Tyloo doesn't force Zubac out there against small ball lineups.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I think that I have Zubac, and this is a lotto that we made. We have Zubac to get 15 rebounds. So I hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, I don't know. The thing is, I feel like this Lakers team might be kind of checked out, not gonna lie. And they're just kind of the worst team in general. So I feel like that would be I could see it if it's the Lakers are up going small ball and they're up 10 late in the third or something. I
mean, the Lakers are 5th right now. They have the Clippers at 6th. they just got Luka, and they're probably a center trade away from sneaking in that top 4. I'm not even a big Lakers fan, but I feel like with Vando coming back,
Yeah.
like they could sneakily turn the tide a little bit if they win this one. They play the Clippers, who are only a game behind them. So I don't know. I feel like it's one of those where they had such a shit start that people like you don't realize how good they've actually been.
Yeah, I mean, JJ Redick is one to like make extreme changes for certain matchups too.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they do go small ball. But with JJ Redick, I just don't know.
What about just Jackson Hayes? This is like a low line kind of, but it really fucking isn't, dude. What about Jackson Hayes like under 8.5 points? I mean, that's like I guess cut. So restricted area. I guess the Clippers are, not great there. But pick and roll, man, third fewest points per game there. I would assume that Zubac just sits in a drop and kind of like, clogs
He's
the
definitely
paint.
going to be in his drop.
I think the question becomes Max Christie was closing, and Vanderbilt's still going to be on his minutes restriction. So do they just stick Jackson? Because Jackson has been playing normal rotations the third quarter and then hasn't played the fourth quarter since AD's been out because they've just been going small to finish games. But if Christie isn't there, I don't think they're going to be playing Gabe Vincent. Vando won't be healthy enough. It becomes Hayes or Connect.
And I don't think they trust Connect.
Exactly. So Hayes might get closing minutes now.
Yeah. Or DFS. DFS is like a perfect. I mean,
DFS has been in the. At least I'm looking at the New York game right now. They close with Rui, LeBron, Christie, DFS, and Reeves.
Okay. I would think maybe Vincent. I don't know. Gabe Vincent.
Versus Philly. Oh no, this is a blowout too. All right, well, I guess Washington and New York are the only games where he started, and Washington was a blowout, so I can't look at the closing rotation there. But that game, I think if we can get some reports as to what the plans are, I don't know if we will, for JJ Redick, I think there could be a lot of upside in either targeting Hayes' unders or overs.
Yeah, no, that could definitely make sense.
How do we feel about Kawhi lines? I know that became public. I played him at 19.5 points last game. He shot 5 of 18. Up. There we go, right on cue. We got somebody asking about it.
Yeah, I mean, rough game last game for sure. What's the Lakers' scheme with? They're not probably going to switch everything. I know like they like to be aggressive against the pick and roll handlers.
I think Redick likes to switch it up depending on who the player is.
Yeah.
Like last year was just blitz every star player. I think this year they've mixed it up a lot more.
Yeah,
but they have leaned towards the aggressive side of things with the pick and roll handler.
This is the worst shit to see when you're better, when they were just fucking like mid against every single like play type and scoring zone.
Yeah,
it's like why, like what's the edge here?
Does Vando's minutes overlap with Kawhi, or do we not know? I can check that right now if nobody knows off the top of their head.
Yeah, I think Kawhi's rotation is first 8, and then he starts a set because they want to stagger Harden. So Harden plays a whole first. So I would assume that they do overlap a little bit, assuming that Vandos has like a normal like bench rotation where he's starting the second quarter.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. It looks like he finishes the first and third, starts the second and fourth.
Yeah, I get no Norman Powell here, but I mean Kawhi never shoots this bad. 1 for 4 from the stripe, dude. I mean, my goodness.
I had him for 15 plus in the projections parlay. He's at 14, went to the line and missed both of them, and then just subbed out for the rest of the game.
Bro, that'd be sick.
It's tragic.
Yeah, I mean, Kawhi is definitely in good form. I think he's like a 20.5 line type of guy with like with the rust knocked off and 28 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, so
I knew that was going to be popular, or it already is popular among other cappers today. So I figured some people were going to have questions about it.
Yeah, so I think we can agree that we all lean over, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, look at this. This was sent in at 8:40 before the stream even started.
That's hilarious.
This is some sharp shit.
Yes, it is.
What's good, Tommaso? What's good, Tyler? Hope you guys are doing okay. So Rui stuff. Do you think that Rui without? I mean, I know Rui and Christie are not similar players really, but I think he's like a lock to like close at least.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, at least frees up a few shots.
He's probably a small ball 5. No, either him or DFS would be considered the small ball 5 in this case.
And probably want both of them in at the same time if you're running small.
What's his rebound chances been without AD?
Okay, without AD. 4, 6, 12.
Never mind.
That does sound low though. I don't know. I guess LeBron probably just like feels the need to, grab the uncontested boards. Triple double shit. King shit. Year 22, baby.
LeBron's points are fairly low without AD. Maybe low isn't the right word, but lower than they should be. It was 26.5 last I checked. 25.5 now. Yeah, I think he's at 26 or more in every game without AD, aside from that Washington blowout.
Yeah. 29 or more actually in the rest of them.
Damn.
So
I mean, even though it's juiced, why are his threes at 1.5?
Yeah, I played that against the Knicks. I mean, he's gonna get dropped for sure.
Guess which game I took that in, guys, by the way.
I wonder what.
Fucking blowout. They're not a real team.
They're not.
I hate the Wizards so much the past couple weeks.
Bro, the second Malcolm Brogdon came back, they're on a 2-game win streak.
Yep, they beat my Wolves. To be fair, we had like first option Mike Conley and Jaden McDaniel hoops. But
they beat the Miles Bridges led Charlotte Hornets last night too. I think they did. I honestly didn't even keep up with that. I saw people complaining to the court about it.
I know they're up big at some point, but yeah, I couldn't tell you who ended up winning that either. Yeah, Bron stuff makes sense. Okay, but Rui, I guess we could just do like a minute filter. I think Rui's kind of just going to be like like the same usage regardless. Just kind of maybe he gets like an extra like post touch.
What about what's the DFS rebound? I'm looking at the last 2 games as well, but it might be worth pulling him up. 7 rebound chance average. Oh, that's only 1 game. I don't know why that's the case. Did he sit one of the 2 games without AD?
Who?
DFS.
DFS. He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have. Does he have lines up?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, I probably should check that.
No, he actually doesn't have lines. I think the books are like waiting to see who gets that Christie starting spot.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So
they only have lines for Reeves, Hayes, LeBron, and Rui.
Yep. Donovan Mitchell over PR. I think we can all just endorse Mitchell stuff, like ceiling minute spot, drop coverage.
And he's mad he couldn't play when they got eliminated versus the Celtics last year.
Yeah. I mean,
narratives never make a play based off narratives, but if you're on the fence, it is there.
Yeah. I mean, and also just like stars are going to be up for like these type of games. Like you're not going to get like Donovan chilling like they're playing against the Mavericks up 50. So
yeah.
Tatum stuff. What do you guys think about Tatum stuff? Because the Cavs are very switch heavy, and I think they allow the most points in isolation, which is definitely Tatum's number 1 play type.
I'm concerned about it I don't know if concerned is the right word. I don't know what to expect because usually we just trust Okoro and or Dean Wade on an island against them.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them are out in this one. Maybe we do it with LeVert like we do sometimes, but LeVert he's a lot smaller than Tatum, so I don't know that we will. So I kind of want to believe either we put Mobley on him, which is not good for Tatum, or we double him, which is going to lead to a lot of passing against us.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit of both right there because they've been relying on that 2-3 zone a lot lately, and it's been working very well for them.
I hope we don't do it against Boston. That works against teams that don't shoot. If we do it against Boston, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and double him at first, but then I've been noticing like they'll like mix it in at random times where they'll throw it in the 2-3 zone. So it's not going to be like a constant thing throughout the entire game like the 76ers or something like that. But I think they're just going to throw it in at random times.
I'm kind of worried that I'm worried as a Cavs fan. We're not wanting him to do well. I'm kind of worried they just put him at the elbow in a 2-3 zone and let him play chicken with whoever's coming to help from the corner part of the zone.
Yeah.
Because when he does that, bro, you can't do anything about it. He'll wait until you are basically trying to swipe at the ball before he makes that pass. And if you're not there, he's just going to take him 1v1 and pull up as if there's no help to begin with.
He's very good at that.
That's probably the best aspect of his game that he's improved on the last year and a half, 2 years. That's impressed me.
So probably stay away from Tatum stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a big live betting opportunity once we see how the Cavs want to defend him.
Yeah.
But I don't think we can trust previous games considering the injury status is very different.
Yeah. That's a good point about live betting, guys. I feel like once I understood schemes, dude, live betting is a gold mine. If you can see, if you understand the schemes, dude, literally, if you see someone with a high line, a pick and roll handler, high usage guy, in the first play of the game, they get blitzed from a team that usually plays drop, bro, that under is borderline free.
Bro, betting unders against efficiency is if you see a guy that starts 4 for 5 from 3, just go ahead and take their under. Whatever the line is, you don't have to think about it. Yeah. A lot of times it'll be they'll have 10 points in the first quarter and the line's 23.5. It's the books are aware he's not going to shoot like that again. Everybody's going to be, he already has 10 points. We'll just go take the under. And it never goes over.
Yeah.
Unless it's game 5 LeBron against the Celtics.
LeBron's the exception.
Yeah. Or a man prophet.
Appreciate that.
Yep. We already talked about Herro, A and RA. Love it. It's probably the perfect matchup, to be honest. I bet Cade's assist over against the Bulls at 9.5. I think, dude, that was one of the easiest bets I've had too. It's just dude, they just literally can't guard a pick and roll. I don't know what it is, dude. Pick and roll man's, pick and roll handlers assists against the Bulls. Hopefully Vooch doesn't get traded so we can just keep on betting that shit, honestly.
Lakers fans want Vooch, and I think that's the funniest thing ever. He's not going to solve any of their problems if we're being realistic. They're better off.
They said defensive anchor. That's not him.
If I'm them, I'm going to get Claxton, and then I'm getting a backup Marvin Bagley or something was just put on the market today. I think that's their best. Give up a second and one player.
Yeah.
And
my top choices was Claxton, Kessler, and Turner.
What about Robert Williams? I'm a big Robert Williams guy. I totally get he probably can only play 24 minutes a game and then no back-to-backs and stuff. But
I think that's the only issue. Otherwise, if
they're probably gonna play heavy short 7-8 man rotation in the playoffs, and that's gonna be the problem. I don't know how much you can rely on Jackson Hayes in the playoffs for a good amount of minutes. So that probably would be the knock on Robert Williams. If they can get him as a backup somehow, I think that'd be perfect.
I think if you give Claxton 28 to 30 and Rob Will 16 to 18, I think that's a problem.
Yeah. Those are two perfect guys next to Luka too.
Oh yeah, I mean Luka was on the Redick podcast last year talking about how much trouble he has playing against Claxton. So knowing that JJ Redick is the coach, I feel like the writing's on the wall personally.
Yeah. I still can't believe this shit, bro. Dallas is so stupid.
Dude,
no one's more stupid than the Kings.
Made the trade and went silent. But every day he's saying we're finding out new information that's just making him look worse and worse.
Yeah, man. I'm not really thinking about the next 10 years. I'll probably be dead by then.
I didn't even have to talk to Jason Kidd. Yeah, we're on the same page. And you see Jason Kidd just in his own agony, just sitting right next to him.
Did you guys see the AI video of Jason Kidd getting up and
strangling him,
choking him?
That's was so hilarious.
Funny. Michael said Siakam over points should get volume with the Portland defense. Yeah, I agree. If they're going to switch everything, Siakam, I'm a big Tamani Kamara guy, and
he's nice.
Yeah,
he needs his respect.
Yeah. See, 20.5. You might get Nembhard sitting on a back-to-back. You might get Neesmith. You probably do get Neesmith sitting on the back-to-back, which actually could be good for Mathurin if you want to try and jump the gun.
That's a really good point. I mean,
Actually,
if one of those guys sits, Mathurin's closing and his lines are criminally low.
yeah. It would probably be dumb jumping the gun because this is probably like a lean under heavily on all Mathurin stuff just because, like, dude, he's literally like capped out at 25 minutes.
Well, that's only if Neesmith's playing.
Yeah. And do you think Neesmith, like, maybe wouldn't, even if he does play, he's like 16 on a back-to-back, maybe?
16 minutes?
Yeah, instead of like
right.
24. No, 16 minutes.
I don't think he's playing enough minutes for it necessarily to be a concern. Like, if he's only playing 26 minutes, which I can check on before I finish what I'm saying, that, like, I don't think it makes sense to limit him lower than that. That's already kind of a limit in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. No, but Siakam stuff actually does make sense. I would think that Siakam against like a switching defense, like, honestly, Haliburton, I don't trust him to like get buckets against switching defenses at all.
Is it at Portland?
Yep.
Hallie unders.
Hallie unders just fade.
He's another one where I don't know if it's related to, like, there was some Indiana reporter that talked about how when he's on the road, he's not sleeping in his own fancy $1 million bed, that it bothers his hamstring more and he shoots worse.
What?
And I didn't believe it for the longest time because it was only like 8 games into the season when he said this. But now, dude, it's horrendous. I'll see exactly what the numbers are. But at one point, he was shooting like 15% from 3 on the road.
I think that if just Nembhard gets ruled out, dude, like, this might be like this thing might skyrocket up to like 34.5, and that would be like a great under. But even like if I don't know, just under stuff anyways. But yeah. So do you guys do like Siakam stuff though against like a switching Portland team?
I don't really love the Kamara matchup, honestly.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I think Portland has enough dogs where as long as you're not switching on to Simons, I think they could make life difficult for him.
I think it's more of a like mid-range guard kind of matchup. Because I think it's been guards that's really been taking over. But Haliburton's jumper is just too slow for the mid-range and what the Trailblazers are going to try and do.
Do we know if Ayton's playing on the back-to-back?
No. That's both these teams are on back-to-backs. That's why, like, honestly, dude, I feel like stuff like this is just like
we're not going to see the injury report until like another.
Nobody's on the injury report except Thibault right now. But they always have at least one center that sits. Mm-hmm. Who sat last game?
Robert Williams. He's been sitting.
So Robert Williams, he's been sitting on back-to-backs or just in general?
He's just sitting in general.
Oh, never mind.
Crazy. Way to get his
on the trade block. That's why he's been sitting probably.
Yeah. See, Teeks. Hey, that's my nickname. Bro's got ADHD. Yo, chill out, bro. Nothing wrong with that.
JJ, do we like Sharpe for the same reasons we liked Clarkson here?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
I think I do. What's on 14.5 is higher than I want it to be, though.
Yeah.
That's weird coming off of a 19-minute game.
Oh, I didn't realize he only played. If he only played 19 minutes last game, then yeah, here's his back-to-back minutes log. 31, 33, 32, 36, 36, and then 21 in November. In terms of minutes.
Look at these points, bro. He be getting buckets on the back-to-backs.
So if his minutes goes up, and I think he's still coming off the bench, I think. So let's see.
Yeah.
Let me see if any of these back-to-backs were when he was coming off the bench. Yeah, 3 of them off the bench. His most recent 2 against Charlotte and Chicago, he had 31 and 33 minutes. So if we're saying at least 27 minutes to safe floor, or would we go lower than that?
I even say 25. I think 25 is still good too.
I
think 27 probably be more realistic.
This is 25 to 34 minutes. I mean, maybe because you could always get some outs with like random resting guys. I mean, like Portland's not like they've been winning games, not gonna lie, but I don't think they're making a playoff push. And so you could get some random resting stuff, and maybe he even plays a little bit more. But yeah, I'd say 25 is like close to a floor.
Because one of the things, usage percentage isn't crazy high. But higher usage players off the bench that like get 20 plus minutes, they pretty much hit this line with ease against Indiana. I think part of it is just the guys they have off the bench aren't as good defenders, at least in the paint. And then you avoid Neesmith a little bit more.
Yeah.
So Sharpe has 18%.
For whatever reason, it's guys that can drive. Like, they just been attacking.
What do you guys think about PJ Washington rebounds and assists? Embiid weak side. Yeah, you got to make sure Embiid plays first, though.
Yeah, if Embiid plays, it's air.
Yeah.
I'm looking at guys with guys against the Pacers with at least 20% or 18% usage in 20 minutes, which Sharpe has
Middleton
every game.
Kuzma.
Since December 17th, what was line 14.5? 18 of 25 guys have hit this line off the bench against him.
Jeez. That's a unique angle.
Well, the only reason I found it was because me and JJ played Jordan Clarkson, and we were like on the fence. So I was just looking up specifically for stats off the bench. Let me see if I do guards off the bench.
See, Michael, this is another thing to add with the PJ. Like this is looking like a really good hit rate too without Luka, and obviously there's like no Lively too and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Christy and AD aren't coming back or joining until Thursday, correct?
Yeah. Well, AD's still hurt. Like Christie's gonna play here for the Mavs. I saw, but
yeah, they said at least another couple days for AD.
Yeah, because he's still hurt.
Okay.
Yes. This PJ one makes it really a ton of sense. But like I said, I would just probably wait till Embiid's rolled in. Fed my units with those nerfies.
Wait. What? Is he talking? Were you guys playing nerfies?
No, he's talking about
you. Your nickname is Nerfy Nuke Man.
Hey, I'll take it. I'm excited. I will say MLB is probably my least favorite sport to cap, but nerfies are so fun.
Oh, yeah. You get them out of the way so fast.
I know. When you hit a nerfie, you feel like the smartest person in the world, even though it's the most degenerate bet ever.
Yeah.
Everybody follow my guy Ty. Bro got me through college. I appreciate it, Jando.
There we go.
Yo, what's good, Andrew? How we doing? Hope you're doing good. Let's see. Jake said, Vooch under a 3.5 assists under
10.5 on Bam.
Oh,
is that rebounds?
Yeah, Jake. I don't know if you're asking for 3.5 assists, 10.5 on Bam.
I think he's saying under on all three. 3.5 assists for Vooch, 10.5 rebounds for Bam, and 15.5 points for Gafford.
Okay. Vooch. How do you guys handicap a Vooch assist prop?
He's had a decent amount of usage. A lot of it has come from just like he'll get it at the free throw line, just automatically swing it, and then Kobe White or somebody would just rip through and make a baseline drive. So I don't know if his potential has been great, but like if somebody takes more than one dribble, but it's up to a layup, it still counts as an assist, but it doesn't count as a potential assist. And I think that's where a lot of his assists come from.
Yeah, this motherfucker Vooch had a triple double last game.
What?
10 assists, 11 rebounds, 20 points.
Bro, Miles Bridges had a triple double last night.
Really? Damn, everyone in the chat was like, yo, guys, Miles Bridges over 11.5 rebounds and assists. Me and JJ were like, bro, I don't even know.
Better hope nobody clips that.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, Vooch, I don't know how to handicap his assists. To be honest, 12 assists and 13 assists, or 12 and 13 potentials, and a lot of his shit's probably not even getting registered as potentials. That's a little bit scary.
I forgot I have a play in this one that I was waiting on more books to open up last night. I really hope I'm pronouncing it right, but Buzelis.
Yep.
I was looking at that.
His points, bro. His minutes are there.
Like a 20 on the floor.
I want to play his points. My only thing is I can't decide if I want to just straight it at 8.5, like minus 105. Or I think Bet365 had his 9.5 at plus 140.
Really?
I've never seen. It's very rare you see a difference like that for just 1 point bump.
Yeah. No, you take that 10, I think.
Because his
And, I mean,
threes
he's
are
been
also
hitting
plus
it.
150, which we're calling my name as well.
20+ minutes for Modest.
Yeah,
I think that's got to be the floor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and the Heat, they, as nice as they are defending the paint with both Ware and Bam active, for whatever reason, their defense rotations have been horrible. So guys like Buzelis can just eat off of that.
Let's see. So, he's played
His
26.
threes are plus 150. And
Yeah, it was 150 when
45.
I was checking last night. I was praying it was still
That's
there when
crazy.
I woke up.
That's value right there.
So I don't know if I just go 3 straight up, is 10 points straight up. If I do like someone is 8.5, someone is 3s. I haven't figured out what I want to do yet. I just know that I'm gonna play him.
Yeah, 20+ minutes without Levine. He's hit points and his threes.
I mean, I think he takes like 8 3-point attempts per 36 without Levine on the floor. So if we think he's getting 24 again, that probably puts us at it's 2/3 of 8. Do I have to do the exact math, or can I say somewhere between 5 and 6?
Dude, somewhere between there. I was like trying to think it too. I'm like, dude, honestly, I have no clue. It's like 2 and 2/3,
5.22.
right? Yeah, 2 and 2/3. I think
5.33.
Okay.
Something like that. You guys get the gist.
Yeah. So Bam under 10.5 boards. He might actually have to guard on the perimeter a lot, right? If they're going to start like Io at the 4 and Giddey. The thing is, if he's guarding Giddey, dude, if you're guarding Giddey, you can just like cheat off of him like weak side. And
They're not going to waste Bam on Giddey though, are they?
Yeah, is he a good weak side defender? Maybe they even put Ware on Giddey and like put Bam on Vooch.
I would put Ware on Giddey possibly just so he can play drop.
Yeah, and switch to pick and rolls and stuff with Vooch, with Giddey. I don't know. Gafford, I do actually, to be honest, if Embiid does play, I kind of do like Gafford under points just because Embiid just going to sit in the paint and, it's going to make scoring in the restricted area a bit tough, I would think. And he could also get into foul trouble, right? Gafford's kind of a klutz sometimes.
Oh, he's going to bait the hell out of him.
Yeah.
That's where Washington's rebounds could come in too, as if Gafford gets in foul trouble.
Yeah.
That's another aspect that could work.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think, Jake, your favorite one is that you said is Gafford under 15.5 points.
I agree there.
Yep, we like PJ Washington stuff.
Lonzo Ball has quietly been shooting a lot more last night. Or not last. Sorry, I was reading the comments at the same time. He's been quietly shooting a lot more the last 5 or 6 games.
Have the Heat been a big 3-point funnel kind of since they're playing drop with Ware and I think they still allow some catch and shoot stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
This is only the last 10 games, so because Lonzo basically only shoots threes.
For those who follow Brady Hawk, he does a lot of Miami Heat breakdowns because he's one of the reporters for him. But I feel like every night I see him tweet great offensive highlights of Bam, Ware, and Jovic, and then he's like, "But we still can't rotate defensively."
Oh. I mean, they're trying to get that too big stuff down, dude. The Wolves, I'm a Wolves fan, and dude, they were a disaster year 1 of Rudy, and then they got it down and were one of the best defensive teams ever, to be honest.
Too big. Sometimes they've been going 3 big with Jovic on the floor.
Yeah,
that shit is crazy.
Big?
I mean, he's lanky. And because they can all switch everything low key.
Yeah, I know he's. You can definitely switch him. I guess I never thought about he's 6'10". Damn.
Yeah.
He's 6'7" on the floor.
Isn't he taller than Bam?
I think Bam's 6'9".
What do you guys think about Kawhi 2.5 assists? I feel like the only way to handicap this is a team that doubles in isolation a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard betting assists for guys that don't look to pass.
Yeah. I guess you could argue and be like, Okay, he's averaging 24.5 minutes. We know he's going to play 28 minutes, and he's already averaging 2.5 assists, and it's plus money. So it's like per 28 minutes, he's probably around 3, and it's plus money or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I think all his value is gone once it got past the 1.5.
Yeah.
You got the 1.5, then you can ladder it to 3+.
I think I need probably like plus 115, plus 125 at 2.5. I feel like plus 105, minus 105 is just bait at that point. See a high usage player with a low assist line. Why does FanDuel have different lines for the same bet when looking at over 2.5 versus 3+? I mean, they've been doing it for the longest time, and I mean, we'll take it when they give it to us. What makes the least amount of sense with FanDuel doing that is usually you'd expect them to juice the odds more on the alt lines that don't have the option for an under, but it's the opposite.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, FanDuel's too smart for their own good sometimes. I think it's more so because like let's say there's 2 different lines. Honestly, like 95% of bettors, especially casual bettors, are probably just like looking at the over and don't even check the 3+. So like obviously what causes the line to move is like when money gets put on it, right? So if there's like a ton of money coming in on 2.5, they're gonna move it for like the over. And then if there's like it's not really coming in on 3+, they probably just hold it.
Well, no, they flipped it the past couple months. They used to always have the straight option first and then the all lines. Now they have the all lines first and then straight at the bottom.
And they're doing that on purpose.
So you have to like scroll and find. And for most props, you're gonna get worse value. But for whatever reason, rebounds, or I would say for football, you definitely get worse value. But for rebounds, assists, and threes on basketball, you're actually getting better value. I don't understand.
DraftKings has done the same thing.
Yeah, it's because they want to like encourage parlays and stuff.
Yeah,
which is why it's still. Dude, I tuned into like the gambling space last night. That show was actually funny as hell. By the way, shout out everyone who'd spoken that. That show was funny as hell. But dude, like I feel like parlays are just like such like like you gotta be like mostly straight bets and like all these like super big people who get big from like parlays and shit. I feel like that's just like those guys aren't consistently winning like we are doing straight bets and stuff.
I will say it definitely helps account health. Because I mean, the only books that I'm not limited on are the ones that me and JJ always did our NFL parlays on, and they're specifically SGPs, which are supposed to be the worst ones. So I don't think that's a coincidence at all.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not.
But your main profit will come off of straights always.
Yeah, like there's a reason why the books are trying to get you to do parlays, right? So
yeah.
Ever since the Blazers picked up the switch, everything, they're 8-2. Yeah, dude, it's been working, so might as well stick with it.
Yeah, look at the Raptors too. It's been ridiculous.
I'm not a believer in the Raptors. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not saying to be a believer, but it's still crazy. Like they're taking away a lot of the pull-up shooters, which has been somewhat helpful for trying to figure out props. But
guys, I got a quick question. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Emmanuel Quickley's minutes have been straight shit, but they're eventually going to come up one of these games, right? Probably to like 24, 26. He's playing against the Knicks. Cat plays drop. I think that this is like a great ladder spot, especially maybe threes. Like you could probably get a pretty good price for 3 threes, maybe even 15 points or something. Just want to get your guys' thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think. I'm trying to figure out when his minutes will come up. I just don't know when.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like ladder, though. I'm not saying like straight
ladder. Yeah.
I'm kind of staying away from Raptors props for the time being. I feel like we've had such a small sample size of everybody being healthy, and that's not just Quickly, RJ, and Scotty. It's Davion Mitchell, Grady Dick, Kelly Olynyk. So I feel like this, as it stands, I feel like this is the first game in a while where everybody is going to play.
Yeah.
And we already have the minutes restriction on Quickly. So it's definitely a spot where if his minutes do go up, then I'm just going to be missing out on a lot of value. But I think I'm okay with that because this is one where I don't want to be left holding the bag.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm totally out on straight lines. But also another like one edge that I have for Raptors props when all 3 of them are healthy, I actually like won twice on these. But against like drop coverage teams, like quickly has the best matchup by far. Because like RJ and Scotty can't do shit against drop. Like they can't shoot pull-ups for anything. So it's like actually like it's like a bad matchup for the two other stars, when against drop teams. But it's actually like a great matchup for Quickly because he's the only one who can really do pull-up shooting. So that's a sneaky.
I can agree with that. I'm a big Quickly fan.
Yeah,
I love Quickly. Like if I was the coach of that team, Scotty, you can catch and drive. Quickly's getting most of the usage on that team.
Yeah,
appreciate you. RJ over 5.5 rebounds and Harden turnovers. Harden turnovers is an interesting one. I don't know what the line is, but I just know that the Clippers have been all season.
Holy
Whoa!
That shit was like a flashbang, dude. This shit's like pure green. What the hell is going on?
Oh my god, that was funny.
Holy fuck!
Wow,
bro, the Clippers have been turning the ball over like crazy this season.
What is DraftKings thinking?
I think it was actually the prop ended up missing, so I'm not gonna name drop him. But there were people that were like on the Hornets under team total when they played because of the Clippers' defensive rating being really good and the Hornets being horrible without LaMelo. And like multiple people told me, like asked me if I liked it, and I was like, it makes sense, but the Clippers turn the ball over so much that there will be a quarter where the Hornets will score a bunch of unbelievably easy buckets. It won't matter for defensive rating because half court won't matter at all, and you'll have no control over it. And that's exactly what happened. And that wasn't my way of saying like I was right. That was more my way of saying the turnovers issues that the Clippers have are not nothing. And Harden's always going to be the root of it.
Holy shit, dude. That was so funny, bro.
Yeah, 18 turnovers that game.
Did Harden have a triple-double here with turnovers?
I don't know what the stat is now, but a couple weeks ago I saw a stat about Cade and Brunson where it was if Brunson threw the ball out of bounds for 105 consecutive possessions in a game, he'd still average less turnovers per game than Cade Cunningham.
That's crazy.
To be fair, dude, Cade has to do everything. Okay, let's see. Kristaps first half. To be honest, dude, I don't know why you'd want to do first half stuff on Kristaps because this game should be competitive through and through. So I feel like usually Celtics guys are good for first half lines because they're you could if they get going shooting, they can just blow you out. But do you guys have a take on KP?
It's gonna come down to matchups again because
Tatum,
I
don't know how they want to defend them exactly.
Yeah, because Tatum's gonna guard Jared Allen to start and to close. That's who he's gonna get, which means Porzingis is likely on Mobley. Then the question becomes when they come back down this court, are they just gonna keep those same matchups, or are the Cavs gonna switch it up? And then when they're platooning and it's not Mobley and Allen on the court together, Mobley's probably just gonna pick up Porzingis. But if it's Allen's rotation, which I haven't checked what Porzingis' rotation looks like, then that would be good for Porzingis.
Yeah, I think outside of Okoro and Wade being out, this is definitely going to be a early playoff matchup preview. So I think they're going to take this game pretty seriously with how they want to see different defensive coverages, and that's what's kind of making it hard for me to predict what they're gonna do.
It looks like Porzingis' normal rotation overlaps more with Mobley for what it's worth.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, J-Main said. So J-Main said he's disagreeing with us because he said Tatum PR cashed 5 straight games against the Cavs. And then he said, I noticed you guys say don't trust previous matchups. If you played some type of b-ball, it's a thing where you go certain places and you always play well against certain players, certain teams, etc.
It's not about not trusting previous matchups, but Porzingis hasn't played against these guys at all, if I'm correct, right?
I think he's talking more about Tatum.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying when Porzingis is
I see what you're saying.
They haven't all played together, type of thing.
And Cavs obviously have a new coach this year.
Yeah.
J-Man, I think the Cavs have a new coach. They run a new scheme. Some of the games were at home. Some of the games were on the road. Some of the games Mobley probably didn't play. Some of the games probably Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis didn't play. Like, there's just so much that goes into it that to be honest, you're not going to be winning better in the long term if that's like your way of approaching stuff, because it's just like there's so much variables that go into every game in the past, and there's just like so much change and stuff. So I think that just like that type of data is really not too useful, and it's you're kind of coin flipping bets when that's like your reasoning behind it, in my opinion.
I will say, because it definitely makes some people upset when you're just like, oh, head to head doesn't matter, all this stuff.
Yeah,
it has its place, and I think that's the important thing. It's as long as you're applying context to the head to head matchups you're looking at, it can be very useful. But when you're looking at the last 10 games and 5 of those games with a different team, 3 of those games key players were injured, you can't just ignore that. And I think that's the key thing.
Yeah, and you got some people that are looking at data from the LeBron Cavs era. And it's like, it doesn't really help here.
James Harden's been over his PRA, and like they're pulling back like Harden PRA stuff.
I played Chris Paul PA recently against the Bucks specifically because
Me too.
of the Brook Lopez drop coverage. He's seen that so many times over the years, and it's a very isolated play type where you're coming off the screen. As long as you get a good screen, you're going to see Brook Lopez in the same drop coverage every year for 12 years. Mm-hmm. So when he hits that for 20 straight games, that's where the context is. It makes a lot of sense. But if I look up Chris Paul versus Bobby Portis, then that's bullshit.
Yeah, for sure.
So all in all, it's just context matters when you look at the head-to-head matchups. Is he going to be on a new team? Are new players now playing in this matchup? Coaching changes. And it's like, he can go over. We're not saying he can't.
Yeah.
But you have to have some sort of
edge
or context to back it up. So why else you think outside of just pure matchup? Because just because he went over in the matchup, can you explain why he went over in the matchup?
Yeah, J-Man, I'm gonna say this, and I'm saying this because I want you to win money betting, but you don't have an edge using this type of reasoning and stuff. So that's just the last thing I want to say. And do we look up? J-Man said, do we look up matchup versus position? I think that defense versus position is not a good tool outside of versus centers. That's just how I feel. I could be wrong there, but especially maybe you could make a case for point guards too, but shooting guards to power forwards, it's too positionless for me to really take it for much.
Yeah, because you can have someone like Jaden McDaniels guarding a point guard. So and then you had Dylan Brooks guarding Cat yesterday, or Jaren Jackson the game before. So it's position versus defense doesn't really matter unless it's center, because centers usually can defend the centers most of the time.
Doc, do you have a take on defense versus position stats?
I think you're better off just looking at previous players against the same defense, because I understand the appeal to it. I personally don't use it for the same reason that you guys just mentioned. But if I want to say, oh, this team's bad against point guards, I can just look up which point guards did good or bad against them. And Tyrese Maxey is a different point guard than Fred VanVleet. So, anybody who watches basketball would know which players fit into the Tyrese Maxey bucket, which ones fit into a Mike Conley or Fred VanVleet bucket. So you can just look through the past 15 games, which guards did well, which ones didn't. And you're getting the same info, but with much better context.
Yeah, much better context. The only thing is that you got to do a little bit more work, but you should be willing to put in a little bit more time and effort if to get better quality picks and stuff. So I agree with that.
You get props madness. It'll take 20 seconds scanning.
Yeah, code SB25, 25% off. Okay, let's see. Do we have any other?
Thompson over 4.5 assists. No Fred VanVleet. 4.5 is a little high. I know he's been hitting it.
We talked about Rui. We're not big on Rui. What was the question?
Andrew Jeffries asked about Ahmed Thompson 4.5 assists. It's juiced up. I feel like I know he's been hitting it, but I feel like I need 3.5 with juice or 4.5 plus money to feel comfortable with an Ahmed Thompson assist line.
Yeah. And is Alpi playing?
I don't think we know yet. The other thing that I think is worth mentioning, Houston, both for Ahmed Thompson's assist and just Houston's offense in general, they do really well because they crash the offensive glass better than anybody in the NBA. I think the Nets' defensive rebound percentage is surprisingly high.
Yeah. I noticed like raw rebounds allowed has been pretty good all year. I mean, that's like a very raw number.
Oh. I thought you were talking about advanced like website stat.
No. Let's see, 9th fewest rebounds overall this year. I mean, that's like not the best number to use, I guess, but
I'm checking defensive rebound percentage right now. Yeah, they're 6th best in defensive rebound percentage. I think they're bad on the offensive glass. 10th best on the offensive glass last 15 games. And then 6th best on the defensive glass. And Houston's on a back-to-back.
Yep.
After a wire-to-wire. What's the spread in that game?
9. I actually think Brooklyn keeps it close, not going to lie.
I was about to say, if it was 11.5 or 12.5, I would have bet on that for net spread. 9.5. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. See, Dylan, we already hit on Rui. We think that it's like a fine set line. We hit on Kawhi. We think that the line's a little bit low for sure. Nothing crazy, but definitely like a little bit low. Y'all peep Underdog's tweets about potential Chris Middleton Kuzma. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I think it makes sense, honestly. Like it's after the trades we've seen, it's kind of a who cares trade.
Yeah.
But the Bucks, I feel like they need to do something.
Is Kuzma? I mean, okay. Here's the thing.
You're buying Kuzma at what's going to be his lowest price, and if it doesn't work out, you're getting what you paid for. If it works out, you're getting great value.
Yeah, Chris Middleton, he's a good player, but that dude, he just does not move good anymore.
I would say he used to be a good player.
Yeah.
And not a terrible contract.
Yeah.
You guys think the Bucks? Do you think Giannis retires as a Buck, or do you think he's going to be out of there in a couple of years?
Depends how long Doc Rivers is there.
Yeah. Direct correlation.
He's horrible, dude. He is horrible.
Good. Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Kuzma just torched the hell out of the Wolves, and I watched him do it for, the whole game. He looked really good there. I think Kuzma, I mean, people forget Kuzma was like on a legit piece on a championship team. So, players will like play in like Charlotte and Washington for so long, and people will just be like, okay, yeah, they're ass, they're a losing player. But then you see it with like PJ Washington and Gafford and stuff, right? Oh, who knows? Kuzma maybe could be a decent fit. He's got to be able to hit, cut, and shoot threes playing alongside Giannis and Dame.
Are we opposed to them starting Portis and bringing Kuzma in off the bench?
I wouldn't be mad at it.
Start Giannis, Portis, and Brook Lopez all together.
The team would give up like a 100% catch and shoot frequency.
I mean, they need to stop letting Portis try and work out of the post and mid range. Like that team works best when he's driving or taking threes and nothing else.
Yeah.
But since he comes off the bench and gets more usage, he just falls into that trap every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see Vooch getting. Okay, here's another thing I think about everybody assuming trades are going to happen. I think it's a lot easier to say a player is going to get traded than trying to say where they're going to get traded to. Like when you try and map it out, you realize how many teams are either filled out better. Like teams that are contending probably already have those pieces filled. And if they don't, they're probably not contending. And they're looking to sell.
Agreed.
So you're probably going to see a lot more like off-season trades probably. As far as like probably bigger names, right?
Yeah. Like the only way I see anybody trading for a center outside of the Lakers is if the Lakers trade for Miles Turner and they get a third team involved to send another center to the Pacers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I don't know a team where I'm like, yep, they need a center.
Dylan Brooks, 1 to 7 to over 12.5 points on back-to-back. Look,
I like it just pure matchup going against the Nets.
You like it? I feel like it's a bad matchup against the Nets.
The Nets catch and shoot?
I think they're 27th on the year against spot up. And that's like all Brooks does.
I'm saying go over.
Oh, go over.
Yeah.
You said. Oh, I thought J-Man said under for some reason. Oh, well, he's kind of inferring he should take the under because
I think he's saying the back-to-back hit rate isn't good.
Oh yeah.
Brooklyn, they're middle of the pack the last 15 games versus catch and shoot in terms of frequency.
Because he just played him a couple of days ago.
Got 14 shots up in only 26 minutes. And, with Van Vliet out, the last game he played 40 minutes. Probably, I don't know. That's a really good volume, to be honest, for 26 minutes because he usually will play like 34, 35.
I will say, I think he shoots like 26% on back-to-backs or something, but it is a small sample size. Because I faded him last game. JJ, you remember this. I took his under 2.5 threes at minus 140, and his points were 13.5. And of course, he hit 3 threes and finished with 11 points. And it was part of that was because of the back-to-back.
Yeah,
I was quite upset.
Yeah, I'd be pissed too. Let's see. Yeah, to be honest, J-Man, maybe back-to-back shooting splits can definitely like be valid, right? Some people have, their legs get more tired than others, but I would stay away because I think it's a great matchup for him.
I think it's just, one of those where there's conflicting data to go for the over or under. So it's better to stay away from a prop that hits than to take a prop that doesn't.
Yeah. Jaime, do you guys, I have like a rule. I just don't bet on Heat wing players because I don't know how their minutes are going to go. But if you guys want have any Heat or have any Jaime looks
with you.
Yeah.
I think Herro's the only Miami player I bet on in like a year and a half, except Bam rebounds against Jokic.
Yeah, 100%. So sorry, delay if we don't have any input, but it's just like he has been.
The rotations are so inconsistent. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll ride with the hot hand.
I think Hawkins is just mid.
Yeah,
I find it very difficult to bet on players where I'm just like, I don't see anything appealing about their game.
Yeah.
To be fair, he has been kind of crushing this line. And it's against the Bulls. The Bulls just like super fast, shit defense, I guess.
Why do the Bulls take so many shots so early in the shot clock?
I don't know.
Like 18 seconds left on the shot clock, they're pulling up from 3. I can't think of any piece of data or like scheme that supports that.
They're just having fun out there. Giddy's trying to like assist pad.
Every time I see Giddey like cross half court, he tries to just like baseball pitch a pass into the paint. I'm like, dude, just run a set. Try and run an actual offense.
Bro, Giddey, some team is gonna pay Giddey, and I'm sorry. Like, what does Giddey like bring to a team besides like inbound passing? Like, genuinely, he brings controversy.
I think to his credit, I think the controversy part is done.
Yeah.
But he's just for different reasons. He's another one like Hawkins where I'm just like, he's okay. He's an NBA player, but like not one that I'd necessarily be pushing to go get for my team.
Yeah. I think I'll say he's a connective player, right? That stuff like that matters. Ever since Julius Randle came to my team, I've appreciated connective players.
Oh, you like Julius Randle on your team?
I'm coming around to him. We need him right now, to be honest. I'm watching Ant with no Randle, honestly, and no Dante especially. No Dante matters a ton. But Randle, we just have no shot creation besides Ant. Randle's been playing connective hoops too recently. Like he's been shooting the 3-ball like shit. Like it's actually like really bad. But
that is Randle.
Yeah.
I'll say this: if you had any other center other than Rudy Gobert, would you want Julius Randle?
Maybe. Yeah. I feel like that would actually be. Randle. The thing with Randle, just like, dude, when he has like those off-ball lapses, it's like holy shit, can we trade this dude already? And when he like goes into, but the thing is, he hasn't been doing his like bullshit isolation stuff. Like he's been like having isolation opportunities, just flowing into DHOs and stuff. So this version of Randle, like, yeah, I think, okay, I don't think we can win a championship with him, so probably not. But I've been respecting his game recently. I will say that.
Interesting. You're probably the first Timberwolves player or fan I've heard have a positive aspect on this, so that's interesting to hear.
Oh, dude, trust me, I was like negative as shit, and I'm still pro trading Randall. Don't get it twisted, but that's more so to keep Nikhil and Nas because we're in like the second apron and shit. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about Julius? I know JJ thinks he's ass, but
if he's the perfect player, if you're fine with being mediocre, which I feel like is not where Minnesota should be.
Yeah. No, that's
just Minnesota has a good coach. They have good pieces. They have a balance of veteran leadership and young boom. So I feel like Randall just comes in and it's like, all right, this, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense for how the team's built. And it has nothing to do with scheme, everything to do with just there's levels, and I don't think Randall's at that level.
Yeah, like what's your ceiling? Like a second option Randall team is probably like a second round exit ceiling, right?
Yeah, like play in back end of the like 5th seed or worse.
Yeah, for
He'll
sure.
He'll never be part of like a true like winning culture.
I could see like, I mean, he needs to like get his ego different, but I could see like a 6-man Randall like being fucking sweet. Not gonna lie.
I
You
do
have to
like
at least make shots to do that though.
Dude, you gotta chill out on my boy JR.
Like I'd prefer Nas Reed starting over Julius Randle if I was a Timberwolves fan.
No, for sure. But also at the same time, 100%. We all think like that. At the same time though, like Mike Conley's to the point where like he's not a starting point guard anymore. And when it's just Ant, like yesterday, bro, when teams blitz Ant, it's like, dude, it's like we just have such like lack of like someone else who can create, because Nas is like an elite play finisher, you know? But when he kind of gets like asked to, you know, like, okay, Ant's out, Nas, it's like first option Nas hoops, then it's like kind of gets tough because he's just not much of like a creator, you know? Or he's fine at it, but he's just like so good as a play finisher, you know?
Go get yourself Cam Johnson.
Cam Johnson, dude, I think we need KD, and I think we're actually going to get him, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Because KD loves Ant.
Butler coming back home?
I would take it. No Wolves fan would agree with me. I would take it, though. I'm also just like a Jimmy Butler in the playoff setting when he's not being a diva is like a top 10 player in the world.
At this point, bro, you can get him for a bag of chips. Might as well.
Yeah.
As a Cavs fan, I didn't want him either. But now I'm like, dude, if we got to give up like a second and Dean Wade or some shit, like, shit, I'll take that.
Second and Dean Wade.
Bro, that's what it sounded like. Nobody wants him anymore.
Yeah, dude. I mean, but the thing is, Pat Riley's such like a jackass. Pat Riley was just like gonna like keep. Here's what's gonna happen with Jimmy Butler. Like, no one's gonna. Pat Riley's gonna be like, no, we're not getting enough for him. We're just gonna stand put and like be mid as shit. So like, I don't know. Pat Riley just like has such like an ego that like he thinks that like he's just gonna fleece someone. Like, bro, Nico Harrison already made his trade for the deadline, buddy.
I do think Jimmy Butler has to be a diva about everything because it's Pat Riley. Like, I think if it was any other GM, I think Jimmy Butler would be handling this a lot more smoothly.
I hope so.
Yeah, he didn't really handle the stuff all that great in Minnesota.
I think the difference is he likes Miami and his teammates a lot more than he did in Minnesota. I think that's the difference. Like, I don't think he would have. I think the whole reason he wants to leave is because of Pat Riley.
Yeah,
I think that's the difference.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah, he didn't like Cat, and then all of a sudden the Big Purr gets traded to New York, and everyone's glazing.
I still think the Knicks are. I think if it was the Knicks were in any other city other than New York, I think people would be like, yeah, they're mid, like they're okay.
Yeah. Do you know what I wanted to do? After like this, I wanted to do a potential like, because I thought Cat and Mobley would be so good together. I thought that like a potential like Garland for Cat like trade would have made a ton of sense for Minnesota and Cleveland before obviously like that other stuff happened.
I think it would have made a lot more sense for Minnesota than it would have for Cleveland, because then we would have had Cat, Mobley, and Jared Allen.
Oh yeah, but you guys there would have had been like a third team that like, you know, gave you guys something for Jarrett. That's what like, huh?
We're not getting rid of Jared. I think Jared's retiring in Cleveland. I think we're more likely to get rid of Mobley for like a haul than we are to get rid of Jared Allen.
Yeah, dude, Jared's a great center, dude, and he's on a really good contract too.
Great deal, and he like just re-signed for a great deal, just extended. So, yeah, I don't think he's moving.
Dude, when I saw that Rudy got extended for more than Jared Allen, I was like, what are we doing?
Bro, when I saw Jared Allen's numbers, I was like, we got him for what?
Yeah. He probably just, took a discount or some shit.
Oh, he did. Bro, one of the games that Evan Mobley missed and we won by like 40 in the press conference, the reporter asked him a question. He completely ignored it. He was just like, I miss Evan. Like, that was what he said.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, guys, let's see. We've been live for an hour and a half now. Let's see. Was there any other questions that we got to? Scoot assist. I think that's the last question.
I don't have a read on that at all, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Pacers. I don't know.
It feels like fake Sharpe to just say I don't have a read on something, but I don't want to give
I think it's just when Aiden
information
plays.
there.
Yeah.
When Aiden plays, he does well.
There's a chance, like I said, I wouldn't hate, just like he has been hitting it, and it's since the back-to-back should be good for Scoot in theory, just like young guy, maybe someone gets ruled out, let him play a little bit. I don't.
We run Shaden, by the way.
So I'm still figuring out.
Okay. Okay. That's gonna do it for the stream. Dr. Prophet, is there anything you want to shout out before you head out?
Go Cavs. That's about it.
Yes, sir. Let's go C's. All right. Give them a follow on Twitter, though, for sure, guys, if you guys aren't already. JJ, do you have anything you want to say before you head out?
I would like another sweep.
Yes, sir. What don't we all? Yeah, let's hope that everyone on gambling Twitter doesn't lose a bet today.
Yeah,
There would be a lot of shit talking. Spaces would be entertaining. Okay, well, thank you guys for tuning in. One last thing I want to say is if you are on YouTube, we got a lot of people in here right now, so appreciate everyone for tuning in. But if you do want to leave a subscribe, all that good stuff. Definitely is greatly appreciated. So one last thing I wanted to say. But yeah, we will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Holy shit. I hope that didn't go too